All right, our speaker today is Reverend Joyce Zorger, and Joyce is out there on Feather Ranch. I'm guessing it was probably a little chilly out there this morning, Joyce. Um, and we always enjoy hearing Joyce, what Joyce has to say. She's got special insights. And so, Joyce, go ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. And thank you for the music, my guy. I Let me get me on the big screen here. There I am. Yeah, and I thought of LaDawn, thinking of her guy, and I'm thinking of my guy and John. And some of this, my talk this morning is going to be a little bit about John and what we're dealing with at this time. But first of all, I'd like to share that my name is Joyce, and partly my name came from my mother's joy of having a girl after giving birth to two sons. And then I came along as her third baby, and she was overjoyed, and she named me Joyce. And I have always held on to that monocle, thinking that, yes, I do. I share joy. And this is a perfect switch that we did with Kevin Hobner, because he took my place on December 5th, and I shared his place on the 19th of December. And it's ironic that it was the talk I'm doing today is the Christmas letter, because we moved into Feather Ranch on December 20th of 1997. So this is just one day short of that. And I just came across, well, actually, I came across this Christmas letter that I wrote in 1997 because a very dear friend and neighbor who actually helped us negotiate for our property here, her husband passed away with Parkinson's a few weeks ago, and she found a letter that I had written in 1997, our Christmas letter. And she put that in my mailbox and put a little note of warm remembrances attached to it. And I loved reading it so much that I decided I wanted to read it and share it with you this morning. And I have it here. And I'd like to share the Christmas letter of 1997. It starts out with happy holidays to you. Our big news this Christmas 1997 is that we are packing up 39 years of accumulation and heading north to Central Coast, California, specifically to a 45-acre horse ranch in Arroyo Grande. As I write this, John has just loaded our horse trailer and truck and is taking yet another load up the coast to our new home. It is located in the beautiful county of San Luis Obispo. This area reminds us of the way Orange County looked back in the 50s. I will be joining John in retirement in a few weeks. This is my last semester of teaching, at least for a while. Our home in Costa Mesa sold in less than 3 weeks. Escrow closes December 19th. We need to be out by the 20th. Our days are very busy, as you can well imagine. Moving is something we have had very little practice with. The good thing about it is that we are finding treasures that we have totally forgotten about. We may even be able to do most of our Christmas shopping this year from the closets of our Costa Mesa home. In cleaning out the garage, John found his old motorcycle, a relic from his racing days of the 70s. Our California daughters and their families have spent time with us at the ranch on and off over the last few weeks. They love the open space, the beautiful old oak trees, and the peace and quiet. I know our Colorado daughter and her family will love it as well. I'd just like to add that we closed escrow on this property on November 7th, so we had access to it, and we would come up in November, and we spent some time here over the Thanksgiving holiday. We have 6 grandchildren, and most of them joined us. It's been a very busy, joyous time here. We now have, the letter goes on, we now have 3 horses. John's horse Bo had to be retired last May. John now has a new little filly named Candy. We still have Candy. She's now 26. Candy, she just recently, we bought a small gelding for the grandkids. His name is Little Man. We brought our horses up to our ranch over Thanksgiving weekend. Friends who live over yonder and who also have horses care for ours when we're not here. And that was the friend and her husband would come over there. He's the one, Barney and Gloria Northcote were dear friends. And like I said, he recently passed away, but he had a very very peaceful passing, and it was a blessing. Most of our family came up for the holiday weekend as well. The horses were the main attraction for all our grandkids. Our grandkids are our little buckaroos, I call them. We are grateful for and celebrate this special time of our lives. We hope this year's Christmas letter finds you and yours filled with an awareness that life is good. Love and blessings from the Zorgers of the Circle Z Feather Ranch. And I just I love getting Christmas letters, but I don't like to hear a lot of sadness in the letter. So and I haven't yet written our Christmas letter this year, but what I have done is something that I'm really looking to feel that it's beneficial because um, as you know, you probably all know that my husband has been suffering the challenges of Alzheimer's, and he was diagnosed in 2017. His health and his cognition is sort of on the decline. It has been in the last 6 months. And I thought I got in my mind that I was going to get out all the Christmas letters that have ever been written here since we moved here. And I had a file of those. And John, the first many years since we lived here, I think up until 2011, he wrote, after this one that I wrote, he wrote the Christmas letters, and they were just, everybody looked forward to his letters. They were so filled with humor and just a lot of adventure and challenges that we had over the years that we've lived here. And John had, like I said, he had a stroke in 2012, and after that, he was not able to write the Christmas letters. And I have all of them that I've saved. And what I had this idea that I would take out this file, and each morning of the month of December, I would read to him one of our Christmas letters that either he or I wrote, and to help to share the memories with him. I know that with Alzheimer's, they lose their short-term memory, and then the long-term memory is affected, and so he really goes from moment to moment, and sometimes. We all kind of wish that we could live more in the moment. And this disease of Alzheimer's is certainly is one that one lives in the moment and experiences moment by moment life in general. So anyway, I want to say that with all the challenges that I've been dealing with this year, that I am so grateful that I have a spiritual practice that I do, and I do every day. And I know that this helps me keep on keeping on. And it's even more important for this time in my life. A little sip of water here. I'm going to start getting emotional. I'm taking a deep breath and taking a deep drink. This, yeah. Joy is the for today. There's just so many reasons why I can access that joy within me, because when I think back, and especially reading these Christmas letters, they brought up a lot of joy for me. And joy is always there. It's an attribute of God. It resides within us, and it's really up to each one of us to uh, to open the path to that, to accept that, and to know that life is filled with change, and we deal with this every day. And some changes are good, some changes not so good. I think a few weeks ago or last month or so, I talked about change, and I like that to use the expression that change. You take the word change and you drop the C and you drop the E and you hang in there. And I think that that's what we each do. And I know that for this time, there's sadness that comes up in our lives, and but I look back on all the joy and the blessings that we've had and continue to have, and I so appreciate. I think joy to me is when we can feel the gratitude, and when we feel gratitude, it brings forth the joy. This morning I was sitting doing my spiritual. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, and I love that early morning time because I have nothing to do but take care of myself, make my coffee, drink my coffee, and enjoy the quiet. I don't have to take the dogs out yet. My husband is still sleeping, and I can just enjoy the time. And I love that special time that I've created for myself, and I'm going to continue to do that because I know that this is something I need. That self care every day. I have to remind myself. I This morning I have to started to say that I looked out the window, and there from where I was sitting, I saw this humongous moon in the sky, and it was the full moon that was setting. And I was so inspired. I went outside with my camera and I took a picture of it. And every day there's something different to appreciate, and to be to just to open that space within to acknowledge and to receive. I mean, it's just that to receive the blessings. They're always there. Um, I wrote down here that joy is an inside job, and it is truly an inside job. It rises when I connect with that Christ presence within. It's that Christ presence and power within me. It doesn't ever leave. It's all part of who we are. We are all. That's the oneness. That's what where this oneness comes from. It's the oneness that we all are. We all have that within us that we can access, but it's up to us to to receive. It truly is. Um, and I have to remember to make time throughout my day to do this. And I talked several months ago. I've raised my 4 puppies. They're 4 years old now. They're no longer puppies, but they still act like it. I so appreciate hearing stories about your puppies. All of you have wonderful experiences and challenges with raising the puppies, and they are that unconditional love. If you wonder what that's about. Unconditional love is what these dogs give us, and our pets, our animals. They are uh, they are joy givers. Really, they truly are. Um, I wrote this down, and I like what I had to say. I said how I do this. What do I do? What I do now is that joy is what I do know. Okay, I do know that joy is an inside job, and for me, how I have to ask myself, I believe that joy is an attribute of God, and how do I access it? And I access it by just going within and being in the quiet and shutting out the worldly world. I have something I wrote down that I really, I wonder if I can find it on my notes here, but I love I guess it's on the other side here. No, I guess it doesn't matter if I don't see it, but I'm always inspired by what I write. I save all my talks, and a lot of times I'll bring back others that I've done and incorporate it into a recent talk. But this time I just wanted to talk about the Christmas letter and how much it meant to me by having that brought forward in my life, and then my joy of being able each morning to sit down and read another letter that was written, and it conjures up all these wonderful memories. And for me, the memories are there, but for John, they're more in the moment, and he enjoys them, and he enjoys hearing them. And I tell John, I said, John, you wrote the most fabulous letter. He was he had just gotten a new computer, and he was having struggles with his with the connecting it to his program that he had, and he had to call up this for help, and he got somebody from India, and he wrote in the letter something about Punjab was parking this camel, and he said when I asked him what I should do, he told me, he said, press this button, accessories. And John said, accessories. What accessories? He said, spell it for me. And he spelled it, and it was accessories. But he just, in the Christmas letter, it was such, to me, it was something that I could laugh about when I read that again. And I told him how clever he was in his writing. And it makes him feel good, because he needs to have, he needs to know that he still has value. And I think that that's important for each of us to know that. I read a contribution in this month in the Science of Mind magazine. It was written by Reverend Dr. Patrick Cameron. And this is what Dr. Cameron had to say. He said, an awakened seeker of truth chooses what they give their attention to and where their thoughts and emotions will lead them. If we let the outside world determine our state of being, we will be at the mercy and influence of random chance, spiraling in an endless cycle of opinions, emotions, and concerns. You know, we have to recognize that and know that we need to have time out from all of this. And I like the words of Jesus, our great teacher and wayshower. He said, be in the world, but not of the world. I repeat that for myself as well. Be in the world, but not of the world. Yeah. I'm listening in the background. I have music playing on my recorder upstairs, and I'm hearing this beautiful Christmas music. It fills me with joy. Christmas music does something. It brings forth the memories. I love the songs that were sung this morning, and the beautiful the sweater with the llama on it that was. The name just escapes me right now, but they're so talented. I love their songs. So anyway, I have to share what happened yesterday morning. I was reading, I have a book called The Book of Awakening, and it's written by Mark Nepo. I've referred to it a number of times. This book is amazing. And I one time was sitting in a Unity service, and Sadie Blatton was speaking, and she mentioned this book and she read something from it. And I was so impressed by the words of Mark Nepo that I went out and I ordered this book and got it through Amazon probably. And I was when I read yesterday's it was December 18th. I read that it's like a day book, and I read the December 18th and what it had to say. I was just filled with emotion, and I'm so pleased when afterwards, and the feelings that came up for me. I'm going to read that page to you because it was meant so much to me. But I called Sadie. I have her number, and I called her and I left a message, and I thanked her for sharing that with us that day at the Unity so many years ago. And I miss her. I miss her talk. She had a lot of wisdom that she shared. So I'm going to read that to you. What did I do? I forgot to bring the book over by me. Hold on just a minute. I'm going to put my computer on the floor and move to get my book. I'm usually very organized. My life is not quite the same these days. But anyway, this is the book. It's where is it here? Okay, it's called Mark Nepo, The Book of Awakening, and it says, having the life you want by being present to the life you have. And this page, this entry on December 18th, just touched my heart so, and I just wanted to share it with you. It's called Light, Lighting Our Way. And we really, truly, we all are lighting our way, and that light is coming from that Christ presence within. Let me take a sip of water, and I'll share this with you. This is by Carl Jung, and it says underneath the title, one does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious, by making the darkness conscious, by making the darkness conscious. To see the light within the darkness, I think that's what that says to me. And so this is what Mark Nepo writes. If Jung is right, then perhaps paradise is no more than seeing the light forming in the dark. Perhaps being awake is paying attention to the ongoing moment of life that we so often take for granted. That moment, like conception, like seed cracking open, that is happening even as you read this. Yet as a headlight grows filmed by driving through all kinds of weather, the gift by which we perceive gets covered by experience, and our ability to see is diminished until we clean the gift. This is a lifelong process, one that never ends, but always begins. So the care of one's being is imperative and continuous. I like that. I'm going to highlight that. I haven't done that yet, but I'm going to highlight that. So the care of one's being is imperative and continuous. As simple and hard as wiping the residue of experience from your mind and heart, letting your original face again light the way. Though, like scratching the middle of your back, we often need each other to regain our sense of oneness. It helps here to tell an old Sufi story about a thirsty man who follows a muddy stream into a cave. And I love stories, and I love how Jan Lindbergh shares her stories. And she spoke last week. And anyway, this is a story about this thirsty man who follows a muddy stream into a cave. He carries a lantern, holds it before him, and finds the clear source which he can drink from. When feeling muddied and troubled, we must not drink from the mud, but trace its source carefully. Carrying the lantern of our spirit before us, we must enter the darkness of our troubles if we are to drink clearly again from the source. I'll read that again. We must enter the darkness of our troubles if we are to drink clearly again from the source. I believe the source is that Christ's presence within. This is making the darkness conscious, and compassion is swaying our small light near others too troubled or muddied to see their way. Too troubled or muddied to see their way, so that we each are that light to each other. And the words that we say and our gestures and our smiles and our love and compassion and the joy that we allow to express in and through us, I mean, it's so important. It touches other people's hearts, and that's how we connect. That's how we communicate. We communicate love, and love is the answer. Whatever the question, love is the answer. I would like to I think that was all. I had a couple of other things I wanted to share. Let's see if I can find it. Okay. I'm going to, I feel really special this morning. I feel so blessed to be able to share with each one of you. I wish I could be there this afternoon. I miss you all. I miss you in person, and to give you the hugs and the smiles. But I know someday we'll get back to that. And I know that you'll enjoy that today when you join the group this afternoon and listen to the beautiful music. The Christmas music is so special, and it touches our hearts and brings forth a wonderful, joyful memories. So I'd like you to go into closing. I'm going to read these closing words of Mark Nepo. He always ends one of his day readings with a meditation, and this meditation I'll share with you now. So let's just take a nice deep breath and breathe in and relax, breathing out, and be here now. Be here now in the togetherness as we all unite in this Zoom connection, and being grateful for all that our people do to keep us together in our unity community. I give thanks for that. I give thanks for all the people that come together and make this possible. I'm so grateful. It's such a blessing. So now I'd like to have you just close your eyes and feel the light of spirit in every cell of your body. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm closing my eyes and I'm feeling that light of spirit in my body, and taking a deep breath and knowing that I can access it at any moment when I sit, stay, pray, and then all is okay. So as I breathe in, I am knowing that and feeling that each cell within my body is brightened. And as I exhale, I feel a slight increase of light around me. And during my day, whenever I feel troubled, and I invite you to do the same, if you are feeling trouble, stop and breathe slowly, and light your way. Light your way. So I'm inviting you to allow this experience, this holy day season, not holiday season, but holy day season, in ways that bring you joy. Just allow this experience to bring you joy. And ask yourself, what is it that brings out the joy within me? What is it? And you'll come up with a lot of reasons. This is a very special time of year. A lot of memories come up, and some are not. Some are more difficult to manage. But just allow and release anything that doesn't serve you well. And be strong. For God is my strength, and vision is His gift, and may that be yours as well. And this is my message this morning. And God bless each one of you. Namaste.